Awkward. Awkward, awkward. 6:38 p.m. It is still June 23rd, 2021. It is still Wednesday. Will this guy ever shut up? Weaver John C. from Rosemond, California. Okay. One of the videos I was doing was talking about the First Amendment rights when it came down for a student being pissed off at a campus. Right now, she is out of the campus, thank God. This happened about 4 years ago. I want to make the correction at this point. It had taken a long while for the case to get over to SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States of America. Or just SCOTUS, actually. And they ruled 8-1 in favor of the student and her right to freedom of speech. More information as I was listening to other sources, trying to get some definition of what the hell went on. I mean, yeah, she got pissed off about the cheerleading situation, and she didn't get suspended from school, just from a year of not being a cheerleader over here. She did graduate from the school, didn't do any retaliation except keep her away from the cheerleading squad for a year because of her rantings of trying to get on a particular squad, and she couldn't originally. But I suppose she got back on the squad and did her stuff. But filing court cases left and right against the school, that took some guts. So when a Supreme Court decision came down saying that 8-1, by the way, 8-4, 1 descending, it was for the First Amendment rights of a student. She did it off campus. That was the thing. She did it off campus, off the campus. If she did it on the campus would probably have an issue with her in the first place. But she did it off on her own time, talk about it, about her experiences to people. And they probably passed on the information, and ultimately the school found out about it and went ape over it. Well, without mentioning her name at this point over here, but you'll probably hear the court cases left and right if you're able to, that she actually got her day in court today, and she had won 8-1. It's that one guy I got a problem with, and that's Judge Clarence Thomas. This schmuck back in the 80s or 90s that he was going through the Supreme Court nomination got his ass grilled by Anita Hill. He was supposed to be getting in through, going through the process of becoming a Supreme Court judge because there was a position opened up during that time. But he was very controversial in his remarks anyway. But the thing that was getting to him was the Anita Hill relationship situation going on. And that can be Googled on that. But he has been very controversial when it comes down for students not having, as has been reported in different sources, of not supporting students' rights to freedom of speech. Now, my question is to those legal experts out there, and including to Judge Thomas, Your Honor, what is considered the legal age limit for freedom of speech to start? Because quite frankly, there is no amendment, there is no legal precedent, there is no law, there is nothing in the Constitution that bans anybody from not having it. You're talking about age, and you're talking about discrimination here. And aren't you the judge that didn't like discrimination in the first place? And what happened? You're discriminating everybody else. If I had gone through something similar of her effect, I probably would have been kicked out. My family would not have been able to bring it up through court systems, but I wish we could have. The thing is, I didn't have that much of a mouth during that time, and I tried to keep mine shut. But if I was like her being pissed off at the school, I would have said something about it. I know my mother, if she was still around, would have been saying something a hell of a lot. And during that time she was. There was one incident happening at a junior high school where I was attending. A school teacher, theoretically, got into the campus to teach a semester or two, being a replacement for a retiring or on medical leave. I was never quite sure. Well, once this particular English professor, a well-loved one, left, we had this substitute come in and really started to piss off some students and teachers. Actually, parents, actually. My mother being one of them. She liked to pick on students in classes. It was found out after that when I got suspended for scratching my nose, she thought I was picking it. She found it very disgusting, got me out of class. Of course, I had to talk to the principals about it, talk to my mother about it, and my mother went to the school board and found out she never even had any credentials to begin with. So how the hell did she get into the office? This could have been a court hearing. This could have been a court hearing right here concerning about competency of the school board, not to mention the school itself. I mean, I liked the teachers, and most of the teachers anyway, and I liked the staff. And I did like the staff, and I did like the counselors and the principal as well. I didn't have any problems with them. Only with one particular substitute teacher they brought in there, and made my life a living hell during that time. She left, and they put in another guy. Had I said something on, if we actually had social media during that time, I may have been blackballed from the school somehow. But I wasn't. My mother fought the system, and we didn't have to take it to court. But I was fortunate. I was also very easily to be picked on anyway as a kid. But teachers didn't do that much. There could have been something said about it a long time ago, and I wasn't about to say it now. But there was a few times, yes, I did. And I thought it was harassment, but I didn't see anything much about it. Joked about it afterwards, but as I keep thinking about it right now, I should have said something about it a long time ago. There was one teacher who was she wasn't trying to be mean or demeaning, but even though it did come out like that. And the other guy was just being obnoxious, using my name as a toy. Description of a toy. And that would have been harassment right there, too. Still, I think those teachers are already gone, long gone ago. Could have made a court case out of it. Didn't. Just kept my mouth shut. I didn't have any issues either through high school, at least nothing major. Nothing of an insult or anything else like that. So could have been, but there was nothing like that. Nothing what this particular student had gone through. And now she's successfully moving on with her life and another stage of her life that she's entering into. So now we're dealing with what we're dealing with right now. But the thing is, I got to ask, if I actually was a hell of a lot younger, like the students are today, and I did something like that on social media, would that be coming down on my ass too? If we actually did actually have social media back in the 80s, and something happened over to junior high, would I be running in the same situation the student would? Would I have been able to fight back like crazy? Would I have been able to get kicked out of school or kicked out of the district itself because I tried to assert my own rights of speech? If I was going to say something derogatory about the school or the teachers during that time. So I have to question the judge who made the dissent. Apparently he thinks that the kids are not worthy of freedom of speech. We can teach it down their throats, but they can't practice it? It's been reported, and they've probably got SCOTUS cases left and right, about his inability to understand that the students are our generations, our new generations coming out there. We have to educate them what's going on these days. But no. We think they're not ready for it. Well, hell, if they're going to march, if they're going to be with adults regarding situations that the parents strongly believe in and have told the kids what's going on, if they're going to be marching with their parents at this point over here, are they also entitled to freedom of speech? Or are they just useless baggage? I'm talking about a 55-year-old fart who has been trying to understand a hell of a lot of things and couldn't quite grasp the concept or context because I didn't give myself the opportunity to do so. And maybe that would have been used as its excuse because students are not quote unquote mature enough to handle such situations, and yet they march with their parents. Throughout the decades, they've been marching with their parents concerning about situations and regarding causes. But they don't have the rights to freedom of speech? So picking on a cheerleader who was upset over a decision happening regarding a coach. She didn't have the freedom of speech off campus to say what she had to say. She has to be governed by the school for everything she says, including in her household. If she had freedom of speech in her household to say, the school sucks, is the school liable, or is the school going to be able to govern speeches at all in the household? And does that also cover the adults as well? And what is considered an adult these days? Are we looking at the legal age of 18 and over? Or we're going to be changing the adult age at this point? Because I'll tell you, some of these kids around 15 and 16 years old are acting like adults. Even at my time when I was going through school. And they did have maturity during that time. So I have to question these things. I have to put that question out to people. I have to put that question out to you, Judge Thomas of the Supreme Court. Do you not find the arguments valid, or are you that blind to it, to your own opinion, and you think your opinion is godhood? You don't consider yourself as human? You can't even consider that maybe some of the students who actually have some brains and intelligence and feel like they're just there. We just have to program it, and once they get kicked out of their systems, that's it. They're supposed to function afterwards. They can't even practice this stuff. They can't even practice freedom of speech. Not even in their own homes or private, out in the public. They don't have freedom of speech. Are we now supposed to govern every damn kid? And at what age are we supposed to identify every kid by age? Are we supposed to take them off the damn streets and interrogate the living crap out of them? What are we supposed to do, Judge Thomas? You got a problem with the kids. Why don't you write a damn opinion about the damn shit in the first place, you twerp? Yeah, I just called you that, didn't I? But you have to have character to insult, and if you haven't got any character, then I can't insult it now, can I? But if you're part of a governing body, part of the government that's going over here, then I've got a problem then, don't I? I got the freedom of speech. Because I am dissenting against your dissent, Your Honor. And I have to give the court its due diligence. So, Judge, what is your ruling in this particular court case? The court of public opinion awaits your response, sir.